Just want to take a moment to talk about the DJI Air 2S. That's right, DJI Air 2S. No longer is it called a Mavic. They dropped the word Mavic, just called Air 2S. So, second day with my DJI Air 2S, and check out all the videos. I'm editing them and reposting them, so subscribe if you haven't already. But I just want to talk about it and answer your questions, because a lot of y'all have had questions about the DJI Air 2S, and one of the questions is, should you buy the DJI Air 2S? And I'm going to answer that within this video. And before I continue, goes without saying, head on over to epicdroneshow.com and then click buy a drone, and you can find DJI Air 2S, the various bundles, all the accessories, and all the other drones too. Maybe you're not shopping for Air 2S. So yeah, so out of the box, Air 2S feels very familiar. If you've flown the Mavic 2 Pro, maybe the Mavic 2 Zoom, maybe the older Mavic Air or the Mavic Air 2, this DJI Air 2S is going to feel very similar to the Malachi. Welcome aboard, man. Always good to have you. Thanks for tuning in. So the design, the build quality, obviously exceptional build quality. The fold and unfold, you're going to feel very at home with it. If you've used a smaller DJI Mini 2, you've used the previous DJI Mavic 2, you've used the Mavic 2 Pro, the Mavic 2 Zoom, you're going to feel right at home with the DJI Air 2S. So, as far as being radically different, the Air 2S is not going to be a drone that you look at and say, oh man, this, and that's what we'll talk about within this live show. So it's, on the surface, it looks just, very similar to the Mavic Air 2, but it's not. Okay, what you get with low light performance, also because of the larger sensor, but the autofocus works great. And if you've ever flown the DJI Mavic 2 Pro, which is an awesome drone, captured a ton of awesome footage with it, that drone also 1-inch sensor. But the Mavic 2 Pro was plagued by the autofocus performance issues. So it wasn't reliable, consistently reliable autofocus. Mavic 2 Pro, when it worked well, but most of the time with the Mavic 2 Pro, I was using manual focus. So that, then you bring the DJI Air 2S that I've got now, you bring that to the table, and you've also got a 1-inch sensor camera, but you've got a reliable autofocus system. And I'm saying reliable autofocus after flying the DJI Air 2S for 2 days. So, I gave DJI any competition. So if they did, they would even produce even more awesome stuff. Yeah, the Air 2S is definitely worth a few drones. I would say if you don't own a drone right now and you want to get the absolute best video quality, go with the Air 2S, because you're getting 1-inch sensor camera, you're getting a palatable price point. Drone expensive, there's no doubt, but for you're getting a palatable price point, something more approachable than the DJI Mavic 2 Pro, which by the way, the Mavic 2 Pro is kind of becoming older tech now. It's a great drone, but you're with the Air, and you can manually focus with it too. Don't think that with the Air 2S that it's only autofocus. No, you can kick over into manual focus. With DJI Air 2S, I'm going to demonstrate, using autofocus versus manual focus. How does it perform differently? But to be honest with you, my is just getting it up in the air and not having to think about it. Only having to think about flying the drone. Not having to worry about, is my camera properly focused? So With that being the case, I think I think you've got an awesome drone here, because it's one that you just pop up in there, it works. You're getting rock solid autofocus performance. You don't have to step back and question, hey, is this footage going to look good? Because that's one of the things that a lot of people, they don't have to deal with questioning the tech. Kevin says, it's the DJI FPV for me, Irix. Maybe in a month from now. Let's see. Going to love not having sun glare at all. Yeah, FPV, the first person view. You've got something that, you don't have to deal with the glare. The only problem with that, unless things change, the only problem is the regulatory issues. So, and again, that varies from country to country. So, it may not be a concern for a lot of y'all, but, the regulatory issues is, that's the thing that makes, in a lot of areas, using FPV goggles a challenge, if not impossible. Dronalton, dude, welcome back, bro. Irix, Dronalton. If I was in the studio, I would sound the didgeridoo. And speaking of that, we're going to have an epic drone show live this weekend. So tune in, bring your drone questions. Now tonight, I've got a special treat. Irix guy here, Dronalton there. Welcome aboard, sir. Dronalton, welcome aboard. Yeah, so we're going to have a lot of footage tonight. I got a lot of new in the field with the Air 2S. If you haven't watched my DJI Air 2S first flight video, check it out. Kevin, I've got, I don't know, man. Check out my videos. I've kind of lost count. There's a few I didn't get. I didn't get the, the Mavic Pro Platinum and the Obsidian, was it Phantom 4 Pro Obsidian or Phantom 4 Obsidian? Jonathan, I know you have. Jonathan says, bro, I've been following you a long time, pal. Always good content. Greatly appreciated. And I remember you. I remember all my viewers, and that's what makes this channel so rewarding, is that, this is a lot of fun. Drones are a great hobby, but, it's a community, and all of y'all coming together and asking questions and sharing ideas, and, at the end of the day, just having a good time. That's what makes this hobby so rewarding. Appreciate it, man. Jonathan, I appreciate it, because again, without viewers like you, this channel would not exist. This is what you see is what you get. This is an independent YouTube channel. So, it's not part of a multi-channel network. I don't have those fancy marketing budgets. The Ketchup. What is my name? What is your name? Your name is Ketchup. Hey, Ketchup, what's up? Ketchup. What do you go well with? Will, I bet you go well with hamburgers and hot dogs. Have you ever put ketchup on a drone and licked it off? Obviously not while the drone was flying. Ketchup. Dronalton. It's easy to remember me. I haven't been on your live in forever. Cool, though. No, dude, I remember. And I think part of it is your screen name is really good. I like that, Dronalton. Ketchup says, no ketchup for you. No ketchup. I like, what I like to do with ketchup. I like to get some ghost pepper and Carolina Reaper and stir that up in the ketchup. And then you've got like a Carolina Reaper and ghost pepper ketchup that'll just burn your face off. Love you, man. I love ketchup. Dronalton, what state are you in from and in? Man, I'm in Georgia in the United States of America. Yep. But typically I'm in the United States Virgin Islands. But because of all this, goes without saying, it's just, travel's been kind of a pain, and I just, I'm cheap. I don't want to spend and not get the full experience. So I'm in Georgia. So Speaking of that, not to be nosy. So yeah, I'm excited about the Air 2S. I know a lot of people have kind of downplayed the release of the Air 2S because they're like, man, I think in people's mind, when you think of an iPhone, for example, you think of the S models they used to have. You kind of think of like middle ground. Let's see. Jonathan says, do you have a house in the Virgin Islands, or why are you there so often? It's beautiful there. Dude, I'm there all the time, man, because I go out and I get on a boat and I turn around. That's what I do. Sorry, I got a disruption. Yeah, so that's why I'm there, man. I'm Captain Irish guy, so I'm cruising around. But yeah, that's one of my favorite places. I've got around. Oh, you disconnected. Poor. When your phone rings and you're out on a wireless or a cellular network live show like this, it's just how it is, man. Temporarily interrupted, but there's no interruptions that'll be prolonged. So, it's just one of those things, man. But yeah, Air 2S. So it's one of those things, people, they're like, here the S model, it's often kind of like middle ground. It's kind of like 1, 2, 3. If you're talking about numbers only, 1.5 or 2.5, it just kind of seems like it's slightly better, but not really. And, unfortunately, when you put the S badge on a drone, it seems to have this. It seems to non-verbally convey the same type of message. And in the case of the DJI Air 2S, it's by no means middle ground. This is taking a proven and reliable drone platform and upgrading it to a 1-inch sensor camera, but offering it at a price point that is more easily reachable than the Mavic 2 Pro. So, you're getting that 1-inch sensor, but it doesn't command the extra premium like the Mavic 2 Pro does. Sorry, Jonathan says, sorry, man, got to go catch up again. Have a good rest of your day. Too, Jonathan. Hey, look forward to seeing you on the next live show. So be sure to tune in. Yeah, so it's really good. And I mean, again, the videos will speak for themselves. I've got a lot that I'm going to edit and publish this evening that, I've got my first day in the field, DJI Air 2S flight. I've got that video up. Check it out. That was my first time taking off, no expectations, just having a good time. So, not much, not much. It's a long duration video, and it just steps through the, my first day in the field with the DJI Air 2S. Kyle, dudes, all right party. Yes, sir. Welcome back, Kyle. Always good to have you. I want to remind everyone, goes out saying, these live shows, including these where I'm just walking around, not in a fancy studio or anything like that. You can choose to super chat. A great way to support the channel. Also simply subscribing, liking, and sharing with others. I mean, this channel is an independent YouTube channel. So, it's support that enables it to continue to grow. So, yeah, Air 2S, I like it a lot. Who is Air 2S for? So Air 2S is for someone that needs more serious video quality than the DJI Mini 2 would bring to the table. But they don't want to spend as much as, as is required for the DJI Mavic 2 Pro. Michael says, hey, Irish guy, it's good to see a new DJI release and your input on it. Thanks. Hey, man, thanks. And any questions you have, let me know, and I'll try to test it in the field. Yeah, so it's a great drone. It's I like to say it's pro quality, in my opinion, pro quality video, but not at the price point of the Mavic 2 Pro. And obviously you're getting, with DJI Air 2S, you're getting the latest tech. So, the Mavic 2 Pro is reliable except for the autofocus. But this, I've experienced, and again, it's my second day flying the DJI Air 2S, but I've experienced 0 issues. Everything has been ultra, super duper reliable. So autofocus has been great. The handling has been great. The battery life's been great. And what I want, super chat, super duper. I got a super chat. Kyle said, have a brewski on me. Bam. That drone's a lot of stinky cheddar, so you must be doing all right. I appreciate that. Man, I will definitely have a brewski. Actually, I'm going to have a few. Because see what I'll do, I could spend that super chat on a really good beer, or I could spend that super chat on like, I could pretty much get a 6-pack of Natty Ice. I don't know if you ever drank Natty Ice. I mean, it's a really high-class beer, but yeah, I'm going to do that, man. I appreciate that. That is great. Great way to tip the host and get him a little bit of beer. Appreciate that. Yeah, you got to fuel the innovation. I mean, if all you do is work and you don't sit back and chill, for an hour or so, maybe once a week, all work, no play is unhealthy, man. You got to have that. You got to have that pick-me-up. So that's really appreciated. So yeah, the Air 2S, who's it for? Again, if you don't have a drone, you want the absolute best video quality, go for it. If you already have a drone and you don't really need cutting edge, you don't need the 1-inch sensor, you may not need to upgrade. You may be okay with what you've got. Now, if you've got an old drone, say like a Phantom series, or one of the first DJI Mavic Pros, I'd say upgrade. But, if you're sitting on a Mavic 2 Pro, Mavic 2 Zoom, Mavic Air 2, or DJI Mini 2, I would probably, granted, I would love for y'all to buy drones. That's wonderful. And if you shop for drones on epicdroneshow.com, I get an even bigger smile on my face. But, I'm not here to just sell. I'm here to tell you the honest truth. Nothing here is sugar-coated. So, if you don't have a drone, yes, get that DJI Air 2S. It's awesome. If you got a Mavic 2 Pro, you're probably okay because you got a 1-inch sensor on that. But if you crave excellent autofocus performance plus a 1-inch sensor on the camera, go for it. Get rid of that Mavic 2 Pro. Get you a DJI Air 2S. Yes. So, it's these things are expensive, man. This is an expensive hobby. This is not it's not a cheap hobby, but it can be a very rewarding hobby, especially if you like videography, photography. If you want to go out and capture those environments from a unique perspective, there's no better way to do it than with a drone. And, it's also important to become involved with this hobby, because when you do, and when you enjoy it, and when you share the positive experiences associated with using a drone, that helps the hobby as a whole. Because if we're not careful, this hobby as we know it could possibly cease to exist soon because of all the, an abundance of people that are abusing drones. They're flying irresponsibly. And not only are they doing that, but they're showcasing their irresponsible acts on social media. And it's bad for the hobby. I'd like to think that my viewers, all y'all here, and everybody I would like to think y'all are all fellow drone evangelists. You're out preaching safe and responsible drone use. You fly a drone, you answer questions, but you don't answer those questions until you've safely landed the drone. And then the people that walk up and talk to you, they're curious about it. They want to know, what was that? You tell them all about the drone. Well, where can I buy a drone? Well, the answer to that is epicdroneshow.com. That helps me. That really does. And it's just, it's important to paint drones in a positive light. You know, don't fly irresponsibly. And if you see someone doing it, walk up to them and preach to them and just say, look, you know, just talk about safe and responsible drone use, and tell them if they have any questions, head on over to droneevangelist.com. I am the drone evangelist, and I'll preach to them as well, you know, because it's us as a community of responsible drone users, drone hobbyists. It's us that will enable this hobby to continue to exist. Because if we don't band together and we don't get out there and showcase the fun in a safe and responsible way, this hobby might go away. And that's not cool. That is not cool. So I use the release of every new drone as an opportunity to preach safe and responsible drone use. You know, this is a big industry. You know, this is not just a hobby. You know, drones are going to change the way that a lot of businesses do a lot of things in the future. So, you know, we may be looking at it through a set of hobbyist eyes, but the reality is that there's something even larger than the hobbyist application of drones. So it's a cool thing. And it's every time I think about a drone, I get excited. I mean, I'm already excited now. I'm trying to burn off this gut, man. I got kind of fat. I'm trying to burn off some of that fat and go and edit some videos, because I've flown my DJI Air 2S more today. And I'm going to share those DJI Air 2S experiences with y'all, so that if you're still on the fence, you know, maybe watching my videos will help you to make a purchase decision. You know, that's just part of the fun. I love drones. It's a great hobby. And I mean, when there's a new drone out, exception, DJI FPV, I couldn't find a permissible way to fly it. But, you know, any other drone that comes out, unless it's an Inspire, you know, I hate the Inspire. Inspire's too big. Inspire's too heavy. And I said that as soon as it was released. You know, that was many years ago. DJI Inspire was released. They had all the big names there. Those guys, you know, a bunch of celebrities in the audience. Those guys from the Mythbusters. Love their show, by the way. But they were all in the audience, and DJI pulled this huge and heavy drone out, the DJI Inspire. It's too big, it's too heavy, and I hope it goes away. So hopefully DJI will discontinue the Inspire, you know, and hopefully we'll start to see more and more small and lightweight drones. I would love to see DJI Mini 2 Pro or DJI 3 Pro, a DJI Mini 3 Pro with a 1-inch sensor. Michael says, Kyle, you got to hit the road? Oh, man, well, good that you got able to stop in. Michael says, I'm officially in the process of starting my drone business here in Florida. I passed my FAA exam last month. Thanks for your live shows. They help me to make some educated decisions. Great, man. Hey, and best of luck with your business. You know, there's few things more rewarding than creating and then incubating your own business. Because what's so great about it is your business. And when it becomes successful, it's your business. And, you know, if there's challenges along the way, guess what? You can only point the finger at yourself. And how much do you want to point your finger at yourself, you know? So that's the beauty of running your own business, is that you can do whatever you want to do. And you can only blame yourself for your successes and or your failures. And I mean, that's awesome, man. I hope you flourish. I hope you create an empire, because that's what every business person's goal should be. Create an empire. Create an empire. Hey, maybe sell it and then create another empire. You know, build, grow, repeat, build, grow, repeat, or just build and grow and stick with it. You know, life's short. You know, what's your exit price? You know, if you hit X million, do you want to quit working? Do you want to sell your company? Or be like, well, being a multimillionaire is not enough. Now I want to be a multi-billionaire. You know, if you want to chase after the Jeff Bezoses and the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world, go for it. You know, but you know, a lot of people with their own business, they may say, okay, you know, once I achieve, let's just say $39 million. Okay, once I achieve $39 million, I feel that I could probably do whatever I wanted to do for the rest of my life. You know, if you set that number and you achieve it, put something on a piece of paper. Write it down, lock it up in a safe, put it in a safety deposit box. And then when you achieve that number, open that up, see that number on paper, and tell yourself, you know, and be sure to calculate in inflation, because the dollar is probably going to continue to become more and more devalued. But once you hit that number, and you know, a number that you set, and ultimately you said this number would be my walk away from the business world number, you know, assuming that inflation is blah, 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 then you should comfortably step away from that business and do whatever you want to do. But grow that business to enable you to hit that, to achieve that milestone and step away, and then really enjoy being financially free. Because, you know, the biggest thing that enslaves everyone in society is the need for generating more and more wealth. If one can generate enough to where there's no longer the need, you know, if you can do that, you can really achieve happiness. You know, like I said, money does not buy happiness, but if you create on your own, if you generate enough wealth, you can do whatever you want to do. And you know what? You can do it. And if anybody rips on you for doing it, just say, hey, you had an opportunity to create something great as well. You know, do it, enjoy it, and, you know, be satisfied with the financial reward. There's so many people today that don't have that business-minded mentality. And it's important, because you can really you can grossly exceed what you felt were unattainable milestones and then continue going. But know that once you hit a certain point, it's okay to step away. Because once you hit that certain point, you know, that 9 to 5 or, 9 to whatever hours it may be, you know, that no longer exists, because you're self-made and you've created freedom. So just remember that. And I wish you the best of luck, you know, with your drone business and any other ventures that you may become involved with as well. So yeah, keep on trucking, man. Be a boss. Win, win, win. So with that being said, I am going to go. I burned some of his gut off. I've walked a few miles, only about 2 miles. I need to do a lot more. But yeah, appreciate everything. Really appreciate that super chat. That's great. I'll get me a 6-pack of Natty Ice, and I'll savor that experience. And yep, stay tuned for the drone videos, man. Gonna get them up. Gonna get a live show this weekend. We're gonna talk about it, come up with any questions you have pertaining to DJI Air 2S or any of the other DJI drones, or any other drone brand for that matter. It doesn't have to be DJI, and we'll chat about it. And obviously, a lot more flights in the field with DJI Air 2S this weekend. You know, really got to take it out and show the real experience. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all tuning in. This has been a great, you know, again, casual show, just walking around in abandoned parking lots. But it is what it is. Y'all have a good day, be safe, and best of luck with your career goals. See you later.